Just let me know when you're ready. You just gotta do it.
Are they getting... Taking to the sky. Flashing through the sky. Hang on tight.
Another axon. How did it get so large?
She wasn't always this tall, but she's obsessed with reaching the stars, so...
Papa and his parables.
Parables?
He never paints just to paint. Everything has to have layers and layers of meaning and purpose. Everything's a lesson.
What's the lesson with this one?
Hope.
Lizzie. My sister's at the top.
And Papa knows I have vertigo.
She who grasps the sky.
I hate climbing.
What have we here?
Oh, great. Alright, these things again.
A storm is coming.
Well, at least it's not that hard. their feet give me.
Storm is coming. Feel the embrace of fire. Let the ink flow.
Perfect.
Oh, lovely. Romance flowing. Feel the embrace of fire. Are they trying to fix things or break things?
She who grasps the sky. They're jealous. They wish to destroy her work. Pull her back to the ground.
Is this part of the parable?
Everything is.
Roma is flowing. Now's our chance. Feel the embrace of fire.
Nice.
Nice.
Roma is flowing. Let you flow. A storm is coming. Feel the embrace of fire. Now was our chance.
Great.
What? Oh, creepy.
Chroma is flowing. Feel the embrace of fire.
Time to end this.
good stuff. Yeah.
Nope.
Ow, wow, wow.
Ah, wow, wow.
Ready to strike.
Romance flowing. Feel the embrace of fire. Did that Nevron just kick a different Nevron off the tower?
It looks that way.
A bit of violence, yes.
Let's carve a path.
The eternity of ice.
Let's carve a path.
Break.
Great.
Oh, wow.
Let us stay now.
What lovely feet. What lovely feet.
That's lucky. Ready.
I don't know.
Vertigo, remember?
Nah, not so far.
His intention.
He tried to give stuff to her.
Are good, I know, but his methods.
Your father?
I'm the youngest, which makes everything worse.
Oh, I understand that. Only child.
Yeah, Claire's the oldest. She's just so perfect, so accomplished and talented. Papa's favorite. He's so proud of her. And Verso could always make Papa laugh. I had so many inside jokes. Then there's me.
And then there's you. The actual favorite. The one he calls his hidden star, but who's too shy and self-conscious to see it.
Yet here I am, messing things up even more.
Look around. He just wants you to fly.
All these inventions. Gustave would have loved to see this.
Perfect.
Well, I mean, this is like, I'm at the place where I could just go right to the final boss, or I could explore and like fight all these extra boss. So I'm going to be fighting like a big extra boss soon. Oh, this is completely extra area. It's like extra story main area. A good RPG does not waste extra area. Like, it's like more story to fill in. Guess you could say the canvas. Yeah. I like to savor what the creators have made. Another piece of I got. Or oh.
What lovely feet.
Well, well.
Gosh, that weapon sucked. Alright, so.
Perfect. Perfect.
A bit of violence, yes.
Here we go.
My sword is death. I'm ready. My sword is death.
Sweet taste of battle. chance.
Witness the flames!
Time to take risks. Here we go. Careful now.
My, what lovely feet. Foolish move.
Let's spill some cake.
No more tricks.
Sweet taste of battle.
Eyes out, monocle.
Witness the flames!
He definitely just got boomed. Yep. Tasty, tasty hamburger. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Expedition 61. Margot. See, but I disagree. I don't think she's lonely. She's alone, but she's not lonely. They clearly have some sort of society here, and she's the odd one out. Well, except for her co-conspirator in the workshop. I've never seen creatures fighting amongst themselves before. I admit I'm impressed by her creativity and drive. I feel almost like a traitor for saying it. But there's something about her. You can't help but want her to reach the sky.
Itakato maalu.
I die, so be it. If I die, so be it. Take your shot. Here's your card. Swiftly now. I die, so be it.
Not today.
I die, so be it.
Givek! Testaru!
Things are getting spicy.
I die, so be it. I see you now.
to dregs.
Doing in. I see you. Time to take risks.
Aya! Finesse and precision! My sword is death! Sia, dodge!
A bit of violence, yes. Wow. Wow.
No. I mean, yeah, there are games like that though. It's like money bank weapons. You know, like once you get something like that, you literally just stop spending money.
Sweet taste of battle.
Well.
Sword is death!
Try me.
No, it's a new ability that was unlocked when I pretty much the second act.
Sia, dodge!
Not surprised.
You speak to me of perfection, but is there really any such thing? Or is it a siren leading us astray? I happily predict that neither of us will ever summit that elusive peak, but I care little as long as we walk together. Art gives us the perception of control. For a moment as I paint, I find order among the chaos. That is, for me, a moment of pure contentment. And that is truly better than perfection.
ready.
It's locked on you.
It likes you. My, what a lovely feat.
Oh, has it? Okay. Cool.
Here's your card.
Ready?
Okay. Flames. On me. On fire.
Yeah. Yeah. What's up? All right. You ready, my friend? One second. Let me just. I'm talking to. Yeah. You ready, friend? King Jesus, you are holy, 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 and amazing. We look to you for you are good. You are such a good, good God. We align our hearts and our life to you. We look to you because you are delightful. So as we read the writings of the ancients, please reveal to us how it points towards you. The more that we understand and reflect on your love, and then we can be just like you. So we become people who share the same love because you have loved us. You have forgiven us so we can forgive others. Please, King Jesus, again and again, show us how that'll be. Amen. Unspiritual practices, Isaiah 58. Call with full throat. Don't hold back. Lift your voice like the horn. Tell my people about their rebellion. Jacob's household about their offenses. They acquire me day by day and want to acknowledge my ways. Like a nation that has acted in faithfulness and not abandoned its God's decision making, they ask me for faithful decisions. They want to draw near to God. Why have we fasted and you have not seen? We have humbled ourselves and you have not acknowledged. There on your fast day, you find what you want, but you oppress the people who toil for you. There you fast for contention and strife, and for hitting with faithless fist. You don't fast this very day in such a way as to make your voice heard on high. Let the fast I choose be of this very kind, a day for a person to humble himself. Will it be for bowing one's head like a bulrush and spreading sackcloth and ash? Is it this that you call a fast, a day favored by Yahweh? Won't this be the fast I choose? Loosing faithless chains, untying the cords of the yoke, letting the oppressed go free and tearing apart every yoke? Won't it be dividing your food with the hungry person and bringing home the lowly downtrodden? When you see the naked, you will cover him. and not hide from your fellow flesh and blood. Then your light will break out like dawn, and your restoration will flourish speedily. Your faithfulness will go before you. Yahweh's splendor will gather you. Then you will call, and Yahweh will answer. You will cry for help, and he will say, Here I am. If you do away with the yoke from your midst, the pointing of the finger and wicked speech, and offer yourself to the hungry person, and fill the need of the humble person, your light will shine in the darkness. Your gloom will be like midday. Yahweh will guide you continually, and fill your appetite in scorched places. He will renew your frame, and you will be like a water garden, like a spring of water, whose waters do not deceive. People of yours will build up the ruins of old. You will raise the foundations from past generations. You will be called breach repairer, restorer of paths for living on. If you take back your foot from the Sabbath, doing the things you want on my holy day, and call the Sabbath reveling, and Yahweh's holy things honorable, and honor it rather than acting in your ways, or finding what you want and speaking your word. Then you revel in Yahweh, and I will let you ride over the heights of the earth. I will let you eat the possession of Jacob your father, because Yahweh's mouth has spoken. All right. Any things you noticed? Hope? Well, it seems like they need from what I've noticed, they need to have a turning around of what. Yeah, because right now they need to untie the cords of the yoke, letting the oppressed go free. They need to be about people, about restoration, about life. I was talking with a friend about the way Christians in our culture have got interested in spiritual practices such as meditation, silence, and fasting. This development is taking place in the context where Christians don't have as much sense of God as they used to have, and they're trying to encourage one another's spiritual formation. As it happens, tomorrow will be Pentecost. And a generation ago, churches had experienced of God acting not unlike Pentecost in its aftermath. People spoke in tongues, prophesied, saw people healed, and saw demons cast out. There's not so much of that experience around nowadays. And one point about spiritual practices is to fill that vacuum. It's to reach God when God isn't reaching out to us. My concern was that people are trying to manipulate God or are really just seeking personal development. My friend's suspicion was that God was more interested in the kind of spiritual practice represented by Martin Luther King Jr., taking action to ensure that people are treated more fairly in our country. People in Jerusalem were particularly interested in the spiritual practice of fasting or Well, yeah, there is some part. But Abraham Lincoln, like, he did go through the work of seeing people were no longer slaves, but he also did not see them as fully human. No, there was a movement, but he held. So, like, of course, like, we can thank you for being the president who went through the process of, Emancipation Proclamation, like, people are no longer slaves. But he still hold a compromised view on how human they are. Well, welcome to human history. It's compromised and muddle. Well, you don't have to ask him. I honestly. He's already dead. I can't do that. Well, if he's in the renewed creation, it'll be a good time to ask him. Well, I mean, thanks be to King Jesus that being part of him and being part of the healing movement, and he saves and he holds our salvation. So as long as someone has that, just as we each have moments where we've had wrong thoughts, wrong practices, and yet Jesus saved us out of that. Like, because the reality is it's a modern like reality of where slavery across the board is not okay. Throughout history, well, back in the day, slavery was common and felt like it was needed by the general population as electricity does now. Well, we are actually very thankful for electricity because electricity and steam powered has given a lot of the work that humans had to do. Like, it's a beautiful gift from creation. And also with the movement of people are of value. And so, yeah. People in Jerusalem were particularly interested in the spiritual practice of fasting, were puzzled as to why it didn't work. It's obvious why to the prophet, and it fits my first suspicion. There was a mismatch between people's spiritual practice and the rest of their lives. Actually, no one in the Bible will call fasting a spiritual practice. In the Bible, spiritual practices are following the guidance of the Spirit, involves the kind of action that prophet talks about. I read yesterday that in the United States, we have 5% of the world's population, but 25% of its prison population. It may be a myth that there are more African American men in prison than there are in college, but the myth isn't much of an exaggeration of the fact. Losing chains that put so many people in prison might be a good spiritual practice. So am I dividing our food with the hungry person instead of throwing it away and bringing home the lowly downtrodden instead of giving them our change and otherwise hiding from our fellow flesh and blood? The word want reoccurs in the prophecy. People want to acknowledge God's ways and want to draw near to God, but on their fast day and on the Sabbath, they're doing what they want. Doing what they want includes treating their workers just as toughly as they do on other days. Spiritual practices raise questions about what we really want and whether all our wants are compatible and whether we are capable of doing something regularly that we don't want or feel like doing. Someone once said that you can't be mean to people just because you're having a bad hair day. That people justify their behavior based on how they feel or how they think it might make them feel. So the chapter offers another take on the reason why the community isn't experiencing Yahweh's restoration of the city. The previous section implies one reason. People were worshiping Yahweh and seeking guidance in ways incompatible with who Yahweh is. So in effect, they were having recourse to some god other than Yahweh. This chapter makes the same point on a different basis. If you're seeking Yahweh in a way that involves serious self-discipline, but you're behaving in the way that prophecy describes, you're again showing that you don't understand who Yahweh is. It's as if you are fasting before some god other than Yahweh. Yahweh cares so much about decisions being taken in faithful fashion in the community. People's reluctance to keep the Sabbath has something in common with their instinct to ill-treat their employees. The one thing that matters is to be doing okay economically. It doesn't make sense to work only 6 days or let one staff work only 6 days. Once again, the concern of the comment about the Sabbath focuses on who Yahweh is as well as on the needs of people. Yahweh has claimed the Sabbath. Observing is a sign that one takes seriously Yahweh's claim on time. It looks like an act that will incur economic loss. The prophecy challenged people to believe that Yahweh will honor such restraints. It will even pay off economically. So here we're back into a lack of trust. Like, anytime I don't take and seize and define good and bad on my own, I'm choosing to trust in Jesus and Yahweh. When I choose to treat the other better, even when they treat me like garbage, I'm choosing to trust in Jesus and Yahweh. When I'm choosing, not to define good and bad on my own. I'm choosing to trust in Jesus. And that's what the Israelites here need to get back to. They're doing all the good old, they're going to church on Sunday, but still being choosing to be part of systems of oppression. All right. Yeah, we could do Bio Project. Yeah. Yeah, we just did Esther. So yeah, we're on Lamentations actually.
I couldn't read it all, okay? Just look up Leviticus, okay?
The Book of Lamentations. It's a unique book in the Old Testament that contains 5 poems from an anonymous author who survived and is now reflecting back on the Babylonian siege of Jerusalem and the destruction and the exile that followed. Remember the whole story from the book of 2 Kings. The fall of Jerusalem and the exile was the most horrendous catastrophe in Israel's history up to this point. So remember, God had promised Abraham the land. He'd given David victory to make Jerusalem Israel's capital. And from David came the royal line of kings. You had God's presence there in the temple, and that's where the priests maintained the rituals of Israel's worship. And after 500 years of all of this history, in the summer of 587 BC, the city fell to Babylon. It was all decimated and gone. And so the Book of Lamentations is a memorial to the pain and confusion of the Israelites that followed this destruction. Now, the lament poems found here are not unique in the Bible. There's lots of them in the book of Psalms. And these biblical poems of lament, they do a number of things. They're a form of protest. They're a way of drawing everybody's attention, including God's attention, to the horrible things that happen in this world that should not be tolerated. They're a way of processing emotion. So in these poems, God's people vent their anger and dismay at the ruin caused by people's sin and selfishness. And these poems are a place to voice confusion. Suffering makes us ask questions about God's character and promises, and none of this is looked down on in the Bible. Just the opposite. These poems of lament give a sacred dignity to human suffering. And so these human words of grief that are addressed to God have now become part of God's word to his people. The design of these 5 poems is very intentional. It's part of the book's message. So chapters 1 through 4 are called acrostics, which means alphabet poems. Each poetic verse begins with a new letter of the Hebrew alphabet, which is made up of 22 letters. Now, this very ordered and linear structure, it's in stark contrast to the disorder of the pain and the confused grief that's explored in these poems. So it's like Israel's alphabet poems. Each poetic verse begins with a new letter of the Hebrew alphabet.
So you know what this is, right? The Hebrew alphabet, that's Aleph.
Is it different than the American?
Oh, absolutely.
So is it in different orders?
Oh, I mean, this here is the organization, but yeah, this is the Hebrew letter organization. So it's
Okay, so it's different.
it is different.
So the G's after the A and B.
Well, for that, yes.
No
Aleph,
divided by
Bal. Mm-hmm.
Which is made up of 22 letters. Now, this very ordered and linear structure, it's in stark contrast to the disorder of the pain and the confused grief that's explored in these poems. So it's like Israel's suffering is explored A to Z and is trying to express something that is inexpressible. Chapters 1 and 2 each have 1 verse per letter, giving them a really similar design, but the themes are very different. So chapter 1 focuses on the grief and shame of a figure called Lady Zion. The poet personifies the city of Jerusalem Jerusalem as a widow, also called the daughter of Zion. And she sits alone. She's bereaved of her loved ones, devastated. No one comes to comfort her. It's a very powerful metaphor. And then Lady Zion speaks. She calls on the Lord to notice her fate. And through this image, the poet, he's showing that the city's destruction brought a level of psychological trauma on the Israelites that can only be expressed as the experience of a funeral and the death of a loved one. Chapter 2 focuses on the fall of Jerusalem and how it was a consequence of Israel's sin and was brought about by God's wrath, which is a key word in this poem. Now, it's important to remember that in the Bible, God's wrath is not spontaneous, volatile anger. The biblical poets and prophets, they use this word to talk about God's justice. So Israel had entered a covenant agreement with God, and for centuries they've been violating it by worshiping other gods, perpetrating injustice, oppressing the poor. And so, yes, God is slow to anger, but he eventually does get angry at human evil, and he will bring his just anger in the form of punishment. In the case of Jerusalem, this involved allowing Babylon to come and conquer the city. And so this poem is acknowledging that God's wrath is justified, but this doesn't keep the poet from lamenting and asking God to show compassion once again. Chapter 3 breaks this design pattern by having 3 verses per letter, so it's the longest poem in the book. And the voice is that of a lonely man speaking out of his suffering and grief as a representative of the whole people. And what's interesting is that this chapter is full of language that's drawn from other parts of the Old Testament, from the laments of Job and from other important lament psalms, and even from the suffering servant poems in Isaiah. And the poet sees his hardship as a form of God's justice, like chapter 2 said. But paradoxically, this is what gives the poet hope. And it leads him to offer the only hopeful words in the whole book. Because of the Lord's covenant faithfulness, we do not perish. His mercies never fail. They're new every morning. How great is your faithfulness, O God. So I say to myself, the Lord is my inheritance, therefore I will put my hope in him. So the poet reasons, if God is consistent enough to bring his justice on human evil, then he'll also be consistent with his covenant promise to not allow evil to get the final word. And so for this poet, God's judgment is the seedbed of hope for the future. Chapter 4 goes back to the same alphabet structure as chapters 1 and 2, and is a vivid and disturbing depiction of the 2-year siege in Jerusalem. And it contrasts how things used to be in Jerusalem of the past and how terrible they became in the siege. So children used to laugh and play in the streets, but now they beg for food. The wealthy used to eat lavish meals, but now they eat whatever they can find in the dirt. And the royal leaders used to be full of splendor, but now they're famished and dirty and unrecognizable. And the anointed king from the line of David has been captured and dragged away. So the poem's power comes from the shock of these contrasts, and it's exploring the depth of the suffering that Israel brought on itself. Now, the final poem is unique because it breaks the design pattern. It's the same length as all of the other alphabet poems, but the alphabet order is gone. It's like the poet can't hold it together anymore, and his grief has exploded back into chaos. The poem is a communal prayer for God's mercy. Israel begs God not to ignore their suffering or abandon them. And the poem offers a long list of all of the different kinds of people who were devastated by the fall of the city. They ask God not to forget these people, and they lament on behalf of others, giving voice to their pain. Suffering in silence is just not a virtue in this book. God's people are not asked to deny their emotions, but voice their protest, to vent their feelings and pour it all out before God. The book ends with something of a paradox. The poet acknowledges that God is the eternal king of the world, but also that Israel's circumstances make them feel like God is nowhere to be found. And so the final words of the book leave this tension totally unresolved. It asks, unless you've totally rejected us, and the book ends. The poet doesn't offer a nice, neat conclusion, much like our own experiences of pain and suffering. The story of the Bible doesn't end here, but this very important book shows us how lament and prayer and grief are a crucial part of the journey of faith of God's people in a broken world. And that's what the book of Lamentations is all about.
All right, friend. What stood out to you? Oh my gosh. As someone who as someone who has experienced great injustice and great evil, I thank King Jesus that he shows and allows us to come to him with our feelings of suffering. He's not just a God for the wealthy, the well-to-do. Thank you, King Jesus, for taking in our suffering and seeing it, creating spaces for it to be written and to work through. Amen. All right, friend, we can start, and I'll be right back. HR. Bro. So Ethan messaged and he's saying you might be home around 4:45. And so around that time, he'll let me know, but around that time he might be able to rock a league.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Today, let us stain them. Feel the embrace of fire.
Take your shot.
maximum damage.
Anga! On fire!
The elements dance. Feel the embrace of fire. Now was our chance. I'll do it.
Let's carve a path. You're outmatched.
A storm is coming. A storm is coming.
I'm ready. Your sword is dead. Anga! On fire!
carve a path. My turn.
Spill some ink. Flames, rain. From fire. It softens the earth.
Ready to strike.
Let's push forward.
Finesse and grace. I'm ready. From fire. On me.
You're outmatched. Let's carve a path.
Better.
Nice.
Perfect.
Watch out, Mael.
Not looking good. Not looking good.
outmatched. Not impressed. Watch out. Let's carve a path.
Now was our chance. better. I'll do it.
Ready to carry.
Incoming.
Get ready.
A storm is coming.
Blades sharp. Witness the flames. On me.
Not impressed.
On me. Guard up. Nice.
All right, Char. After that attempt, I have to go through step. Okay.
Hello.
Alicia. Your letter.
wasn't she? You didn't deserve that. Oh, you're the real accent. You know, Papa painted her. So, you know who she represents? You like being here with her. Finesse and grace. On fire.
Oh, I was gonna lose that. I guess this represents his hope for us. For me, then. Go, claim your piece of sky.
both deserve to fly. Let me give you a new beginning.
Alicia.
Send me to my family.
Wait. Mael!
I haven't. Mm-hmm. I know, it's... Yeah, that's, it's great.
I'm sorry. It's what she wanted. I owed her that much. We owed her that much. I honored her wishes. That's something neither you nor Renoir ever did. And not Maman either.
I didn't get to say goodbye. You didn't wait. You didn't give me a chance to persuade her.
She knew what she wanted. You wouldn't have been able to sway her.
She's not you. You don't know that. I know her better than you do. But you didn't even give me the chance to try. You just erased her.
Verso.
You've lost 2 brothers. You know what it's like to lose your sibling and never get the chance to say goodbye. You painters, you just do what you want. You don't care how it affects the rest of us.
I do care. I know you're hurting, but the person who made that decision wasn't me. It was her. Would have been wrong to deny her just so you could try and talk her out of her decision.
She's the last of my family. I have no one left now.
You have me. You have us.
Mael, I wasn't ready.
Don't understand. You were ready when you set Papa free. You expected that he would erase the canvas and everyone in it. Isn't that the same thing?
It's different. It's different. Why did she do that?
You know why. But you're right. I should have thought of you. I should have given you a chance to say goodbye. I'm truly sorry, Verso.
At least she's free now.